Hey everybody, Perfect Enough Garage. Today I'm wanting to make a quick video on my submission as the wild card for this year's OnX Offroad Build Challenge. My name, if you don't know me, is Andrew Boston, born and raised here in St. Louis, and I love off-roading. My biggest inspiration has been the guys and gals behind the camera and in front of the camera, especially out west. Everybody who's in the OnX Offroad Challenge, I've been watching them all for years, long-time subscriber, and they're huge inspirations for me. My top two reasons why I think I should be considered is this car I built. This is an '89 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. It's a pretty obtainable vehicle. The things that those men and women do are beyond incredible, and I humbly bring this to you to hopefully get it up and run it up in the dunes and rocks right next to them. This car I built in my garage here. It's a 2.5 car garage. I'm pretty lucky with the space I do have, but it's no huge shop by any means. I've got a little 110 welder. All my tools are hand-me-downs from my dad, my grandpa, and the rest are from Harbor Freight. And this thing was built on years of research and many junkyard trips and plenty of hours scouring Facebook Marketplace, and of course the help of my friends and family who have taught me many things and helped me with countless other things along the way. My second point is the inspiration again. The goal of doing something like this is to change my position from being the person who felt inspired to the person who is now inspiring others. This is something that I think a lot of people are capable of doing, and you can pick and choose which things might be interesting for you to do, and that are within your budget. And speaking of budget, that's going to be a common theme on this car. So let me give you a quick rundown. This car is a 1989 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. I got it a couple years ago. I paid $2,500 for it. What I got for that was a beautifully rust-free body, but it has some dings in the passenger side. That's why I'm showing you the pretty driver's side. And a set of axles that I've since swapped out. Really, the main thing I got from there was the body, because everything else has been messed with at some point. Let's work our way front to back. So up front, we've got our Badlands 9,500 pound Harbor Freight winch. As you should. I bought it on sale. Used a Harbor Freight winch plate and some fire and iron fab 1/4 inch thick brackets to attach it to the frame. Those go back like a foot. They're super beefy, all great at hardware. I love them. Fire and iron fab also made the motor mounts to get this LS swap in here. So this is technically an LM7 out of my 2000 Silverado. That Silverado was my daily driver. Drove it every day for a couple years, took it off-road, and the body was pretty rusty, and it was kind of boring compared to as fun as this thing is for me. But the motor had 220,000 miles of proof that it worked, so I see no reason why this thing's not good for countless more miles. I did some quirky things to get this to fit in here nice, and also save money along the way. I did some cheap Amazon ECM mounts. I reused the factory fuse block and JB welded it to some litter I picked up in the woods. Riv nuts everywhere securing stuff. I love those tools now. Built my own little intake here with the cowl hood using like I think it was like a C something Corvette air filter, and a couple elbows and some exhaust pipe from my buddy's scrapyard pile at his shop. eBay radiator, a couple cans of fresh paint, and some eBay headers, and the motor runs great because it's bone stock. Nothing special, no tuning, nothing. It's plain, simple, easy, and it works, and I can get parts everywhere. That's what I love about these LS motors. Let's work our way down a little bit. So, big thing with off-road cars, axles. So the Wagoneers, amazingly enough, have a similar, or it's actually same, I should say, bolt pattern to the, the same spring perch width as the 78 and 79 F250s and 350s. The F250s, which is what these axles are, gave you a 44 high pinion front and a 60 rear, and being that same spring perch width, it's a direct bolt-in. Not to mention the front is a direct bolt-in spring over axle and was crossover steering from the factory. So a quick trip to the machine shop, and I was able to get my other knuckle flat milled over and install a full high steer on this car. So if you look up in front here, you might be able to see I've got 1/4 inch wall DOM tube for steering components, all GM 1-ton tie rods. This is the stock replacement spring built by a local shop. Some GMT 800 shackles to get a little bit of extra height in front. And inside is going to be, right now they're just 355s, open disc front and rear, but it's going to be 513s with a lunchbox in front. and in back will be 513s with a Detroit. So working our way back, all the drive shafts are 1350 U-joints built by Tom Woods. They're phenomenal, the place to go for off-road drive shafts and other driveline components. On the transfer case, it's an NP241 out of the junkyard. It's out of like a 96 half-ton Chevy. That half-ton enables it to bolt up to my 4L60. The front output is a CV 1350 CV joint, whereas the rear is a 1350 flange, so I can run double carbons on both and get great driveline angles. To shift that transfer case, I purchased the I purchased the shifter out of the same truck I got the transfer case from, so it was pretty much a direct drop-in. I cut the floor out, got it to fit, modified the linkage as you do, keeping it budget-friendly as possible. On a separate junkyard trip, I got these seats. These are out of like a 2014 Jeep Liberty Limited. They're like a fake leather seat. They say Jeep on the backing, which I love. And they were electric seats. However, I don't like power seats, I like mechanical. So I took the slides off of a base model and put them on these. So now I can slide my seat front and back, and I got all my normal mechanical controls. Over here is a late model Silverado or Tahoe, I'm not really sure, center console. It's sweet because I got a seat, storage up top, and also storage down low. So I've got my winch controller and zip ties in there. So that's the, in case things go wrong, storage portion of the vehicle. Working our way back, we've got that Dana 60 I mentioned before. These are, I think, a 30 or 35 spun axle. Plenty beefy for this weight of a vehicle. And the rear of the car is supported and lifted using two main components, which are the 63-inch Chevy springs off of like a 95 one-ton Chevy, and then the TAD Fabworks shackle flip kit. That lowers the front shackle mount down a few inches, and then also flips the rear shackle from being in tension to being in compression. So with those two, and also with locating the axle about 4 or 5 inches further back, I was able to extend my wheelbase a little bit, get a great departure angle, and have plenty of flex. Those springs are known for being super flexy. My limitation there is the shocks. I reused, again to save money, I reused my Silverado shocks off of my donor car. The rough country rears I think I have in there, and then for the fronts I just got the cheapest set of also Silverado rears at O'Reilly, and they work. Eventually I will probably take a leaf or two out of here, but that's for a later date. Something else you're going to notice while you're back here is I've got two different tank inlets. The primary original tank is about 20 gallons. The second tank I added, that is going to be the main one that feeds the engine, is about 18. It's out of like a 97 Blazer. There's an electric transfer pump that feeds from this tank to the other, so I've got tons of awesome range. Still on the to-do list back here is get my full-size spare tire mounted and build a bumper to hold it. There's a handful of things on my to-do list, but like rear bumper, a few skid plates, and some rock sliders are the main things I've got left. Oh, and re-gear, that's an important one. I've already bought all the parts for almost everything here. I just got to re-gear my axles. I'm going with 513s, and again a Detroit rear lunchbox in front. I think that covers most of it. I'm going to do some roof rack goodies and some lights and stuff later on too, but for now, it's just 220,000 miles of reliability. I've been driving this car every day for a while now. It stays cool, heats up nice to normal operating temps. Everything works as it should. And I feel pretty confident that this thing has the power and reliability to get out west and hang out with you guys for the OnX Offroad Build Challenge. This is my wildcard submission. Thanks for tuning in. Again, for more information, head over to Perfectness Garage on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Thank you guys for your time. Look forward to seeing you